Hey guys! Another day of Spookmas! Hey guys! Welcome to another day of Spookmas! Whoop whoop! I was debating on doing this video just because I didn't know, but you know, I have been having a lot of things happen to me lately when I was going through my spiritual awakening or whatever you want to call it. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know who to talk to about it, and so I actually went onto YouTube, typed this very question in to just make sure that I wasn't going crazy and that I wasn't nuts. And so I want to contribute to this on this platform, and this video will be a timeless video. You can come back and watch it now, you can come back and watch it in 5 years, it'll always be relevant. So in this video, I'm going to share how your loved ones or your spirits or your guides or angels or whatever you believe in are trying to communicate with you from the other side. And I will be going into a lot of short story examples from my end that I've experienced to literally confirm, like, oh yeah, that was not a coincidence. So with all that said, let's get into the video. Let's say you're having a lot of weird things happen, right? You're experiencing things that are so synchronicitized, however you want to say that word, and you feel like you are losing your mind. And you're like, what is happening? And this is what's happening. You are waking up. You're either waking up or your spiritual gifts are elevating themselves to the point where you can receive the messages, and it's up to you to not be afraid of it and just accept as is. A lot of people are on a different path or on a different spiritual journey. This will apply to specific people, but I'm going to try to give you like helpful tips so that you can embrace it and be who you fully should be, because at the end of the day, it is so unfortunate that there are people that are still in this world that have these beautiful things that are happening to them, gifts, qualities, things that are just in them, and they won't share because they're afraid of ridicule and judgment. I think the first thing we should discuss is everybody is different. What my symbol is for when my one specific grandma is around is going to be different for the next. So if I might have a butterfly come in, you might have something different. But these are all just generals, and so just be aware that everything that I am saying in this video is specific to me, but I'll also apply other people in this video and their experiences and what they receive for them. So first off, you're not crazy. You are receiving messages from the other side, from your loved ones or your guides or whatever you believe in, because everybody's beliefs are different, and I feel like we all collectively need to respect that and not push things on each other, whether we believe in it or not. And so the first thing is, again, you are not nuts, you're not crazy. Yes, you are receiving messages from the other side. Your relatives specifically are consistently, and ancestors are consistently trying to call you. So when I say call, they are dialing the number, they have the receiver, but you're not answering. You're not picking the receiver up because maybe you're just not aware, you're not connected. It could be a lot of things. So just know that your actual relatives and your ancestors, like great-great-grandpas, grandmas, uncle, like everything, are always wanting to connect with you. But if you're afraid of it, then they start to back off. Or if you suppress it, they can't get to you. Just know that they always want to talk to you. So if you are sitting in your house and you are like, I just don't feel like so-and-so is around, more than likely it's just because you are not opening yourself up to it. You're not believing 100% with your soul that it is real. And so just know that if you're sitting there and you're thinking, I just need a sign, well, I want you to know that if you are watching this video right now, this is the sign. If you are looking for a sign, it is a sign. So this is a sign for you right now that yes, your relatives are trying to communicate with you, but for some reason you are not allowing it. Once you get past and accept and allow the messages to come through, they're going to come through full fold. A lot of things that have happened to me are money. So I will find coins everywhere. I'll find quarters. I'll find nickels and dimes specifically, and they all have a different meaning, and they will be in really obvious, weird places. Like for example, I'll be walking and then I'll stop for a moment just randomly to maybe look around, and then I'll look down at my foot and the coin is literally right at my foot. Obviously it was there, but me walking up and stopping and just looking down at it, it's right there. That is a sign. Feathers. I get a lot of feathers, white feathers randomly. That's a sign. You might see feathers. You might see numbers, so repeating numbers like 1111, 444, 777, 888, 333, 555, and they all mean specific things. You might have very odd things happening back to back to back, and when they are back to back to back, then you know for a fact that you are actually like really open and that you are just, you want them to come in. Because if you are open and you say, give me a sign, they're going to give you a sign. But you have to be aware of the signs. When we want a sign, it's so dramatic. People want like their dead relative to manifest right in front of their eyeballs, and that's their sign. But that's not, unfortunately, how it works. Signs are small and they're everywhere. You just have to be able to pick them up. And when you think, like when you have something like that happen to you, like a sign, like let's say you see a coin and the first thing that pops into your head is, we'll just say grandma. You're like, no, that's not her. It was. The first person that you think of when you see that object or the thing or the whatever that happens to you, that is the person that is trying to connect with you. I have this happen all the time with my grandpa, my grandmas, and my aunts and my uncles and others like spirit guides that follow me around. You cannot question it. You should always have like an open mind and, you know, be curious, but you shouldn't question it to the point where you've beaten it down and now you're just like, that's not real, because that's not how they get across to you. Other signs would be, I know a person that was having a very hard time in their life and they wanted a sign from their grandma, and they always felt as though their grandma was never around, and they just wanted a sign from them because their grandma was very, very important to them, like all of our grandmas are. This person sat on their couch and their husband was on the other side, and the husband is scrolling through the phone, and this person is sitting on the couch saying, man, grandma, just give me a sign. Just give me a sign. And she's not saying it out loud. She's thinking it, because your relatives and your spirit guides and whoever you believe in, they can hear your thoughts. I don't think people realize this, but everything you think, they can hear it. They know what you're thinking. They know the questions that you're gonna say out loud before you even say them. So anyways, this person is asking the grandma for a response. The husband is scrolling on Instagram, just scrolling, and then he stops on this random video where it's one of those videos where you have to stay on it to read the text. And what was playing was an organ, like one of those old school organs. And the other person that had asked a sign from the grandma was just all of a sudden heard the organ and started to just, oh my God. And they said they looked over at their husband and they just could not believe it. Well, here was the sign. The grandma used to have one of those old school piano organs in her back room, and this person would play on it all the time. And so, I'm getting chills. Right now. That's another sign, the chills. So this person got a direct response from the grandma being like, I am here. I've been here this whole time. This is your sign. This is your sign. I'm here. I'm here guiding you. I'm just here. You just haven't been open or like really focused in to understand that I've been giving you signs, but here's the sign. And so she was flabbergasted. You have to realize like that the signs are always going to be different for the individual. So another sign could be images. I have another person that I know that peacocks are a symbol for one of her really good friends that had passed away. So whenever she sees a peacock, whether it's like a real peacock or just peacocks on books or like knickknacks, anything with a peacock, she knows that he is there. For myself, like I said, my grandma shows me monarch butterflies all the time, and this has been happening since I was very little, but I never correlated it to that until I had like a lot of very, okay, this is not coincidence anymore. This is something that is happening. My grandfather will he'll send me messages through things as well. You have to be open to even receive these things, and you have to know that they are consistently with you, consistently guiding you, and you have to look for the signs. It could be a song on the radio, or it could be, and I know a lot of people don't really listen to the radio anymore, but like for example, I'll have my Spotify music app that I listen to in my car, and there are a lot of times whenever I'm having, in the past when I was having like a really bad day, I'm talking like depressive bad day, feeling bad about myself, you know, I'm talking really negatively to myself, and the next song that would come on while I'm thinking this is my favorite songs. Like my favorite song would come on, and in the song it talks about, you know, just be you, you're great, you're gonna be yourself, and nobody else is gonna tell you how you have to live your life because you're only you. And in the moment, those were the thoughts that I was thinking. You know, at that time I was thinking, man, I'm so odd and weird, and I hate that I like all this stuff. Why is this my life? I shouldn't be this way. I should be this other way. But then that song came on, and I instantly thought, oh, my grandpa, grandma, my ancestor, like my relatives are playing this song because this is my favorite song, and it's talking about just be you 100%. And mind you, I would have my Spotify on shuffle. It's not like it's like I know it's the next song that's coming up. It would just be shuffling, and those songs would come on. Other things that you can look for are actual messages that come through living people. Now I know this one sounds like whoa, but this one happens to me a lot. When I'm at my job, my actual job, not this. It's a regular normal job, but I don't want to do it forever, and it's just sustaining me, obviously. I'm there for the insurance. You get it. Whenever I'm there, sometimes I get overwhelmed and I get in my head and I think, man, you should not be doing this. You should be doing what you love. You know, the whole thing. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. Like if we're not in our job that we really want to do. And when I'm there, I will literally and I've had this happen in the past, like years ago. I will actually have people randomly come up to me and they will tell me, you know, you're doing such a great job. They will start to talk about the job. You're doing a great job. I appreciate you. Like you are like literally telling me that it is okay that you are here right now because you are an amazing person. You know, the whole thing. The first time that I heard this come from somebody, it was so random. I was in a elevator at the job that I was at that time, and I was just like, man, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this job. Like I'm not fulfilling like what I really want to do. This whole thing, and I'm going up to the second level, and the door opens. An older lady and an older gentleman walk in, and they just instantly start talking to me. You know, I appreciate you. You're great. La 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 la. And I, in that moment, was like, oh my God. Like I was literally like, wow. And then they walked away, and they were gone. Like it was like they were there, and then all of a sudden they disappeared. That happens quite a bit. Current job, I have had that happen 2 times, I know for sure 2 times because I'm keeping track of it now, but 2 times for sure. Somebody would come up to me, tell me, and then they would just leave. It's like they didn't even exist. Those are your angels or your guides or your relatives, or somebody is embodying them to use their voice to tell you the message that you currently need to hear. And so if you do have a random stranger come up to you and tell you something that you really needed to hear to make you feel better, that person is doing that because they're giving you the message that the loved ones or your guides or your angels or whoever you believe in needs you to hear to keep you going, because that's what their job is, to make you learn your lessons in your life and make sure that you are on the right path. So that's one thing that definitely happens to me quite often. And when it does, the first people I think of are like my guides and my relatives, and I'm like, okay, I am not alone, because you are not alone. You are never alone. You always have people with you on the other side. They're always with you. Even if you do not know your real parents, or like maybe you never met your grandma or grandpa, or maybe it's just like you and you feel like nobody is with you, or like in reality, well, on the other side, there are people that are with you. You have guides. They are trying to connect with with you and trying to communicate with you to let you know that you are supported in everything you do, and they're helping you to become, like I said, the best version of yourself that you possibly can and learn lessons in this lifetime. Another sign that you'll get are things that remind you specifically of your relatives. So for example, I went last year, I was going antique shopping, and I love antique shopping, and I went down into the basement and I found this little Yogi Bear cup, and instantly I was like, oh my gosh, this is what my grandpa used to have. I've been wanting this cup for years. You know, I've been asking my dad if he had the cup in his house and if grandpa had what did grandpa do with it? And my dad's like, no, that cup's gone. Sorry, I don't have it anymore. It probably got sold or, you know, Goodwill. I mean, it could have gone anywhere. And when I found that cup at that antique store, that was a direct response to, I'm here. This is the thing that you've been wanting for years. I'm here. I've also had it happen with other things like a few weeks ago, I went to a garage or an estate sale. I found this picture frame that I was gonna put my grandma and it's my dad and her sister in, and I was thinking like, ooh, this picture frame is so perfect. It's gonna work perfectly for that picture of my grandma. I'm thinking consistently about my grandma, even though like both my dad and my aunt were in the picture. I was really focused on that grandma. And when I got home, I opened up the frame and I took out the little like cardboard piece, and on the inside was a heart, and I opened up the heart and it said, I love you. That is a direct connection message from her, and I bawled because it just shows that like once you start receiving message after message after message, just means that you are so open and you're not doubting your abilities anymore. Look for people, places, things, anything that you do or anything that you hear. You might smell something. I know somebody that randomly will smell her grandfather's aftershave cologne, and she said that, you know, every once in a while when I'm walking somewhere or going somewhere, even if it's outside walking, I'll get a real whiff of that aftershave cologne that he always used to wear, and it was a specific aftershave that they don't even make anymore, and she's describing what the bottle looked like, and she's going all over it, you know, talking about it, and I'm like, that is literally your grandfather coming through telling you that he is by your side and he is with you. People, places, things, look for all the signs, and anytime something happens or you receive a message or you receive something in your brain, like a thought, and you think about the relative, the loved one, or whoever, that is your sign that they are trying to communicate with you and you are not crazy. Most humans try to be rational to the extreme, and when you are so rational, you are living in a world. You have to stay open to the possibilities of things that are coming to you and people that are helping you through your life. I hope you find this video helpful. It fills my heart with joy that you are on your spiritual journey and you're just trying to figure out what's going on with you. And I'm so glad that I'm here to help you figure this out because I'm still learning myself. Thank you for watching my video. You can like it if you want. Leave a fun comment below, or maybe write out something that crazy that happened to you that you don't know what it means, and maybe I can comment below and like help you figure it out, because I would love to do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Happy Spookmas!